Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are going for Golgari again, but you can say there's not much Shigekis, there's no Invoke Despair, and you are right, because we have covered this deck, and while it's extremely fun, and I really like that one, this one is very different. It works on a ramp land basis, that's why we have Cultivator Colossus that we'll discuss in a second. But basically we want to cast a really big creatures, and I mean a really big creatures. And we also have some recurring value with all the cards, like we will talk through them in a bit. But first I feel that we need to say one thing. This deck is not like tier 1. So if you expect just one main ladder deck, that's probably not your craft, because it's more of a, I've played the standard like Golgari and I want something more interesting, or I just want to see the cool video, because the games will be awesome and you will see in action Tarrasque, you will see in action a lot of cool things, and the Druid class will shine in one of the games especially. So if you always felt that this card can do nothing, you watch this game and you might change your mind. So that being said, be careful with the crafting of this deck. Disclaimer, you need to know what you are doing if you are doing it. Especially we have quite a few mythics here, the ones that are not played in many decks. So I just felt that it's worth mentioning before we go into the deck. If someone doesn't watch the full introduction, he still should know. Alright, and that being said, the deck is mostly about playing as many lands as possible every single turn, so we have quite a lot of ramp. And by a lot of ramp I mean mostly Druid class, Shigeki, and the Stomper. Because we have like two parts of the land deck. We have something that ramps us and something that gives us basic lands, so we can play them on normal turns, because this card, Druid class, benefits heavily from being able to just play two lands a turn, so you want those lands in your hand. This is also the reason why we have Dig Up. It's very good, especially if you expect to level up the Druid class, because you generally know it in advance. And be careful, because the Dig Up can be a greedy card, and sometimes you want to think, this one land won't matter, I will draw it. And in one of the games that really set us back, so sometimes you really need to start going for those lands, especially if you expect you will go for the full ramp with all those cards. So Druid class, really interesting one, and the life gain is not something to scoff on. Like the fact that you can basically get 5 to 7 lands during the game, live 5 to 7 live during the game is actually really relevant, especially with the Meathook against Boros and with all the heavy hitters that we have, because it might give you this time that you need for Titan, and when Titan comes into play, suddenly the game might shift, so it is relevant. I have felt that the biggest hit is this 2 mana just for the live game, because you don't get the ramp, so you need to basically devote 2 turns to do it. But once you set up, it's going places. And the level 3 is more of a finisher. I don't think it's great, but the level 2 is where it's at. That's the main point for the card, and the live game is really sweet. After you watch the games it will make more sense, because like I was surprised how much value this card can give you in some of the games. We have You Happen on a Glade, the card that you might not ever encountered in your life of Magic. But this actually quite fits the deck, because we can choose one. Either we take 2 basic lands into our hand, or make camp, and then we return permanent. So it's either land card or the value card. And we both really benefit from both, because at start we need lands and later we need value. And it's an instant, that's really huge. The fact that it's an instant is something that encourages me to even think about it in other decks. Of course we have Shigeki with very similar function. However, Shigeki can draw you lands at the end step. And that's pretty huge, especially with Druid class, because as you can see, you can play 2 lands a turn, so basically you can ensure 1 big turn on the lands as well. And the fact that you can cast it at the end step means that you will basically have 2 free mana in your future turn, so that's huge. We also have bindings, of course it's like removal combined with the ramp, and we also have quite a lot of creatures, so Death Touch can be important, even with like Shigeki, like it does something, and we have Rhinos and so on. From the big cards, Tarrasque, the star of this deck, I think, the fact that it can go into play so quickly in this deck, it means that enemy won't have ever 10 mana to kill it. It means that it cannot be targeted, so basically it has like a hexproof and haste. And the fact whenever it attacks, it kills something, and it has haste, so obviously enemy probably wants to block it with Charm Blocker. It really gives you a lot of pressure on the board, and it trades for 2 cards at the start when you cast it, basically. And then enemy still needs to answer it, and he cannot target it, so that's a real pain. Basically sweepers are only thing that can kill this reliably. And you know what, 9 mana seems like a lot, but in this deck you can get there very quickly. So I really like the card. I felt that it has even more impact than the Titan very often, because this needs 1 turn to activate, and this just smorks moment you play it. And you can even take it from the graveyard with, you happen on a Glade, man, this card, Dave. And you can take it at the end step from your graveyard and just smork enemy again after he somehow swept it, so that's pretty huge. And 10 damage, it means that 2 hits and the enemy is dead. So this kind of play, even if he has answers prepared, it means that he will die anyway. Okay, and Cultivator Colossus, card that is interesting. I couldn't make it work in the games I've played, because at this point when you cast something for 7 mana, it's hard to have multiple lands in the hand. So yeah, it definitely works for the longer games. If you have shorter games and you end after Titan or Tarrasque, which generally you probably should, it isn't an enormous value, but even if you can cycle like 2 or 3 lands with this, it's actually still relevant, and you might hit the lands from the top of your deck after you draw. So I think that's basically the home for the card. So, you know, we will try to make it work. I would love to play more with the deck, but to be honest, I'm so short on time and the video will be late. Sorry for that. I'm doing my best, but there's so much going on right now today in my life that I have like struggled to even record this, and I will be just hopping up into editing just so you guys can see the video today, hopefully. So sorry for that, but I do care about it. So that is the deck, and for my impressions, as I mentioned, this is not a tier 1 deck. You might lose a lot in Mythic with this, especially on the streaks. It is a good deck and it can win any matchup, but you need very good draw, and the fact that we don't ramp as heavily as other decks, so basically ramp later into the game. We want to ramp, you know, like turns 4 to 7, something like this, and we want to ensure that we play lands every turn. It's not like ramp 2, ramp 3 turn into Chariot or something like this, or into Wrenn. So it's more of a slower deck, and if you don't hit Meathook Massacre, even though we have 4 of them, you might be in trouble against any aggressive decks. However, if you hit the Meathook, and if you have like Druid Class, you probably will win. So it's a bit of a dice roll, to be honest. I didn't play a lot of games with this deck, so maybe I was just a bit unlucky, but like definitely we have tools to do it. We also have removal, we have 3 Bloodchief first, we have Infernal Grasps, we have some blockers with the Shigeki, and Topiary Stomper is really good here, because we can go into 7 mana relatively fast, and we are nearly sure to play land every turn, or even 2 of them, so it activates quite quickly. You want to be definitely on play with this deck. Obviously we cannot choose it, but I do feel a huge difference being on the play, especially with the bindings. The difference between playing this on the turn 4 and turn 5 basically is just huge. Sometimes turn 4 is okay and it will win you the game. Turn 5 is just too late because you will die next turn. So that's a big factor to consider. Okay, and I really like the deck. I think it's worth try if you have some spare wild cards, but if you are short on them, you probably just want to watch the video and make your own mind. And of course, I do recommend that you watch the video anyway, and I think the games were pretty cool. When this deck works, it just looks insane, and it's one of those decks that you play with your friend and then, wow, what a creature, the Tarrasque is broken, it's insane, and it's one of those decks, and it's pretty fun when it works. Also featuring the star of the pet, the laser dragon. I might get more excited than I should be, but I got the pet. You knew it will happen, and I'm pretty happy with it, even though animations, yeah, the usual, but it's still cool. Okay, I think we covered everything from the pet to the deck to the story of my life. So let's go into this video. And as always, if you like the thing we are doing, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed the deck. I really hope you do enjoy the deck. It is unique a bit. So let's go for it. Alright, it seems that we are destined to be on the draw. I guess we have some ramp, so that's something. And this dragon is always something that cheers me up. Whenever I'm on the draw and I feel that the game is over, I have a flying laser dragon, so... yeah, okay, that's not the worst. As long as it's not haste, it's acceptable, let's say. And from the next turn onwards, we can finally start ramping, and that's huge. Also, Field of Ruin is something that we don't care about. Maybe we should cast non-basic just to try to bait enemy into playing Field of Ruin. Like, okay, this is very good for us for now. So, let's start with this one. We get some life back. And honestly, I will just ramp, because this is basically the best value we can get with this kind of draw. Let's go for green. As you can see, our hand is mostly green. And we can basically buffer all the damage nearly. And that's pretty insane. So we were on the draw and we are even on the lands finally. We might cast Happen on a Glade just to get more lands. I also really like the Wrenn. Like, this seems pretty fun. We are just playing lands and having so much fun with this. At least I have. I honestly want to +1 it just so much. Enemy has Infernal Grasp, right? I will do it. I'm just doing this. And I want 4 lands from the top, please. It's okay. I will take it. It ensures that next turn we have insane plays and we are at 6 loyalty. Infernal Grasp does nothing. I would play differently if I didn't see untapped land from the enemy. Like right now, because the token would mean that we probably lose Wrenn, because he kills the token at the end step, and then he has full reign over the game. And that's definitely not what we want. And now enemy is pressured into playing something. I was fearing Invoke Despair, but he has too many Field of Ruin, so he cannot cast those yet. Like, what do you say about my lands, bro? Like, it's getting scary for the enemy. And we are at 15 because of all the live game. I think that's the correct play. We want to start pushing our huge creatures. Tarrasque is okay, but I like the fact that Titan just gives us so much more value. I don't think we are forced to go for the land yet. So we will go like this. And this shield counter is here. So if he answered the effect with the removal, this would get shield counter. And that's pretty good. So let's get our live game. And by the way, we are at ultimate already, which is insane. Oh, okay, one more turn. One more turn. The fact that we have Druid Class is just so insane. We can clearly see how it shines. Okay, so he wants to go for Invoke Despair, I think. Okay, that's really good to know, but it leaves him open to Tarrasque. And then we sacrifice the token, so... Like, he kills Wrenn, he kills the Druid Class and the Rhino. Titan is still a thing though. And we probably cast another Titan. Yeah, that is the only choice. And he also doesn't draw any card, so, you know, it's not really great. That will be a smart attack, and we won't take this damage. Yeah, I think he wants it. We could also go for the Tarrasque straight away. Guys, do you want Tarrasque? Yeah, you want Tarrasque. Let's be honest. Like, why wouldn't we do it? And I guess let's make sure that we fight this one. And yeah, he can block the other one, but this has trample. So maybe he will make a mistake. If not, like, if he wants to remove the shield, he needs to take the trample. If not, he takes 7 and he basically gets nothing. Look how our dragon is excited. It's basically me in the dragon form right now. And I don't think he read the card. Like, if he kills the Titan, we are extremely happy about it. We might even Meathook at some point just for the drain. Okay, okay, that's interesting. But he did a wrong block then. He should have gone for the Titan, take more damage. And that would be way better. And here I mean way better. This is basically the same, right? Yeah, I do want Meathook anyway in the board. So let's start with this. Because this means that even if he removes all the creatures from our side of the game, he still dies. This is Exile effect, but it's 5 mana and we draw a card, so I don't really feel that this is the best play for him. And to close the game, I think we will do this. And this will be the end step. We will be sneaky. Because this creates a haste creature in our hand, so enemy will think he survives, but he doesn't. And that's the smart play. And we are always this little control mage hidden. And now we do this. And this is a permanent. From the graveyard. And if we played it main phase, he would know about it and he would play differently, right? And now we play Tarrasque. And that's your kill for the day, the crazy Tarrasque, a 10 haster. Oh, life is beautiful. Alright, so while we are finally on the play, we drew all of our endgame and only 2 lands and no ramp. That's a mulligan. Unfortunately, that is a mulligan. We keep this one. Is this decap or the Druid Class? I think it's this. Like, we need ramp and we need some kind of reward if we get there. This dragon always is here to cheer me up. Decap can be a really good card here. I will wait. Maybe we get something better. I hope it has more than one animation, like, to be honest. Let's wait. We can go for something like Binding even, just to get some, you know, extra value. And we are against Orzhov. Okay, that's really good for us. This is exactly what we want to play against. And double Stomper? Yes, please. Stomper. Those are always basics. And let's go for black. We have double green, so we want double black for the Meathook and so on. Raffine. I hope we draw untapped land because I really want to kill Raffine right now with the binding. This is a very important play. So it is possible that not casting Dig Up and being so greedy did punish us very heavily. And honestly, it seems to be the case. And I'm definitely not happy about it. So, we are doing it like this. So we got punished, even for this 1 mana. Because now we cannot kill Raffine. But this is still ramp, and next time we can still double. I think we can double it. That's the word. But at least he needs to invest 4 mana, just for 1 attack. So, you know, while not optimal, we are at 17, and this will be able to attack very quickly. And Raffine grows slowly, and that's our chance. So we need to really outpace the enemy. If he's like aggressive as per midrange, and obviously he seems to be, I think he might not have sweepers. Like things like Kaito will hurt. Wedding Announcement is not the worst, to be perfectly fine with you. We go always for the dual land. And you know, let's go with this. We definitely want to ramp as much as possible into the Tarrasque. I think let's go for the green, because we have such a high green costs. I would love to play one more, but you know, you do what you gotta do. So we need to start racing. Our dragon is just so excited. He barely sees anything in the helmet, but he's really enthusiastic about it. I hope he has like animations. Like, please, wizards, make more than one animation per pet. Like, I know it would take you 5 hours of extra work. Okay, I know there's probably some deaths, and you will say that it takes much more, but I think you get the idea. I think you get the idea. Alright, we have Death Touch. And for this reason we can go pretty hard with Vigilance. So let's see what the enemy will do. It is getting harder and harder for him to raise. And I definitely need to start to stop playing with the dragon, because I really invest a bit too much time into it. Let's start with the Wrenn. It will create a huge blocker. I'm not sure what the enemy plan is. But you know what? Let's try to make it work. Like, he plays like he has a sweeper, but I don't think he should have a sweeper. And for this reason I will play another Stomper, because I think that he cannot answer all of them at once for free. And we are going for all the forest. We are going for broke. And by the way, we have 21 power. Okay, that's fine. Like, as long as he goes 1 for 1, you know what? I don't think we are like extremely sad about it. Like, he needs to donate at least 2 creatures a turn. Raffine might grow very quickly into 5 toughness blocker, and he needs to discard some value card right now, otherwise he doesn't kill Wrenn. Okay, that was probably the best one he could discard. But that's still fine, like, he's getting hit for 4, and with Tarrasque, like, we definitely have options. It is possible we just kill him, right? Like, do we really do it? Is that the play? Is that the play? Huh. I will actually attack first. I know, maybe Tarrasque will be the exciting one, but I don't want to get completely destroyed by a counter spell. Or Wandering Emperor, I guess, but this, yeah, that would have worked, so it wouldn't be something that he can, but it has no trample, so it's not as easy to finish the game with. Okay, so we definitely want to kill the bigger creature, and small creature is fine. That's interesting. Enemy cannot pay the ward. However, we probably don't want to show him what we have. Yeah, it seems from the perspective that casting this would be just better. But yeah, I just didn't know. And I will do it like this. Oh, that's quite a lot. So definitely I will go for the Interceptor, because that's the problem. Like, this cannot be Vanishing Verse because of the ward. And we can kill whatever. So we have 5, 9 mana. So we won't be able to ward Raffine. Man, the ward one is the most broken ability ever. We need to draw a land, or we cannot fight Raffine. Okay. So, going full all-in mode. And that's the land that might kill Raffine. And right now we are just full attack mode. Enemy doesn't have 10 mana, so he cannot target Tarrasque with anything he has. Yeah, Vanishing Verse won't work, Emperor won't work, but he can still make the tokens, right? No point in doing anything else. Oh! Oh, I see. That's probably the best. Just to force his block, so he needs to kill the Stomper and block the Tarrasque. And then, you know, also he cannot really heal off the Stomper, but I guess with 1 loyalty it probably won't be a problem. We could kill Raffine, that's also one of the options, but then we pressure much less. Right now enemy needs to get rid of everything he has, and I do not think he can kill us next turn. The Tenacious Underdog and the +1 counter is the best play he has. So it's what, 4, 7, up to 9 damage. If he attacks with everything, it means that he dies. So I don't think he can kill us in any way. And then we kill Rafim next turn if we want, so he really needs to start pushing for some damage. Also, Tenacious Underdog dies at the end step, so it can never block. Not even talking about the 2 HP that he needs to invest, but against 10-10 I don't think it matters whether he has 3 or 1 HP. Oh, so excited. And that's not enough. So he needs to -1 just to have the Samurai. Okay, but that will work. Like, he has a lot of stuff and he can kill us in 2 turns. So we need something good. That actually counts as something good. This also counts as winning the game, I believe. We just make sure that we have double black. And now we go for the Meathook and we win the game. Just like this. As always, Meathook, the best card in every game. Yeah, it is a good game. Emily knows exactly what we are going for. So that was clearing off all the blockers. And now we just go attack. And of course, we finally get to kill the Rafim. The card that just doesn't die ever. And now we smirk. So Tarrasque obliterated everything. And that's the start, that's what you like. Huge creatures smirking with worth 10. Oh man, Magic is going places right now. Okay, we are going first with the Druid class, and we have Wrenn. I really do like having Wrenn on the board, it's just so hard to find the time to play it. Right, Dragon? It reminds me Draggy from one of the games on the console. The Chrono Cross. A very cool game. The only problem with the game was that it was a bit too easy, so no really point in playing it again. Like, it had multiple endings and things like this, but if you are in for combat, it was just... You just won all the fights way too easily. And that will be Bloodchief first, because he has no choice. Okay, so we go for the full ramp, it means. Yep. So, in a way, like, you know, and is this the Drain deck that we have been playing lately? If it is, that would be quite interesting. Like, the deck is quite sweet. Trespasser? Yes, it's the same deck that we've played. And maybe that's a fan, who knows, who knows? Alright, this is definitely the play. Oh man, I would like to plus so much. We actually could. This way he cannot really attack us easily. Like, he cannot kill Wrenn easily, I mean. Like, we definitely have to play this. They might have Bloodchief first. I don't remember all the deck lists, but probably that's the play. I expect Wrenn to die somehow, so let's make sure that at least we get some value in the meantime. And make it awkward. So Bloodchief first. Okay, Infernal Grasp, that's still fine. And we lose quite a lot, so that's not great. But... we'll work it out. Like, we have huge creatures in the deck, but we need to ramp into them. Okay, so that's actually interesting choice. It might be check for traps. We won't be able to kill the Trespasser, so we just need to hit the Meathook at some point. Okay, that's a live game, and this has haste, right? Okay, I definitely should have chosen something, but you know what, I will take it. It will switch to nighttime, and that's not great. That's not great. You can see how much they drain. Invoke Despair. Oh man, that's actually the deck. You can see how it feels on the other side, and it does feel draining. We don't have creatures indeed. Okay, that's a decent draw, I guess. We could go for some permanent, but it's only Druid Class, so I don't think that's what we want really. We definitely want one swamp at least. And I think even 2 swamps, cause why not? We play one of them. And we cannot kill the Glutton, which is the bigger problem. I don't think we have enough time to like really think about it. And I think we just need to go for the top deck. We cannot right now kill the Trespasser because we lack mana. So yeah, it's still quite a lot of damage. So we need very good top deck from the top. But 2 lands with the You Happen on the Glade actually is making a difference. Sorry, that's okay, so that explains the check for traps. If we play like this, we are at 1. Definitely very close. So let's see if enemy can deal this 1x. Oh, he can, if he has a creature, but he does not. Yeah, so he cannot exile with Trespasser, but definitely we are in trouble. And he got another Sorin and he's at 12. So if he attacks, he needs to waste 1 of the creatures. If he attacks like this, that's bad. Yeah, Menace is the name of the game. That's why in Azumi Road, Captain is actually pretty good. Because it's so hard to block, it's like very nimble card, especially for 1 mana that also drains 2 life. I do like the card. I honestly started liking this card after playing this mono black deck. Even as a defensive card, it might have some merit, because it heals you for 2, like by the way. It attacks enemy basically before it turns into creature for 1 hit, and you still have something that kills Planewalkers really well. Okay, and here we go again. We need Meathook from the top. And you know what? This actually also is important. Like, this is a good draw. So we can kill Sorin. Oh man, I'm not sure how we attack. I think we go for the face. Because we need to pressure him. And this might make him block a bit. If not, we have enough value, I think, to make it work. Alright, so I won't get my life. We could destroy this, but it's quite slow right now, so maybe we don't. That's probably the token. And let's actually heal ourselves. This has trample, that's pretty huge. And we don't go into nighttime, which is also quite relevant. Smart. This is the best situation he will have to remove the thing. And that was a black land, but I think that we still need more green. We have the Titans and Tarrasque. Like, Tarrasque might be a game-winning card. And we have very strong blockers with Reach and Trample, and right now enemy is at 7. If he attacks, then we trade very favorably. If he doesn't get any lifelink value. That's a really strong one. Oh man, like, this is a good top deck. This was exactly the best card he could have. Alright, so enemy is at 7. And he can make a token. So we need Meathook as well. Like, Meathook wins the game, right? And Tarrasque, I think, also wins the game. Land definitely does not win the game. Man, Infernal Grasp combined with the land top deck, so unfortunately this is the difference of top decks, right, in the end. Like, we had a lot of cards that won us this game, and 4 Meathooks, double Tarrasque I believe, and all of this is somewhere here. Alright, and with Titan, yeah, with Titan we would force at least him to block. I don't think there's anything, so we attack with both, he just blocks 1 of them, and yeah, he's at 5. That's a good game, my friend. Much love, but it was pretty close.